What is up, guys? This is DT, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to review Hearthstone cards of the Grand Tournament, but on a particular site, which I like to frequent quite often for Hearthstone Players. Quite a good site. They have a top 10 constructed rank cards from the Grand Tournament. There are projections as to what will be the top cards. So I want to go through those with you and just kind of talk about them, talk about why we may or may not why they may or may not work, actually. So let's do this. So first card, Bear Trap. So zoom in a little bit. Hey, there we go. So they actually have two cards. It's Bear Trap and Ram Wrangler. So Bear Trap being the 2-mana secret after your heroes attack, summon a 3/3 bear with taunt, and the Ram Wrangler 5-mana 3/3 battle cry. If you have a beast, summon a random beast. His point is that Bear Trap is a lot of value. You get a whole ton of value with Bear Trap, and that has a lot of synergy with Ram Wrangler. I don't think it's in the top 10 as far as cards go. Me personally, instead of Bear Trap, I'd rather have Snake Trap. If I need a beast on the board, like if I have to have a beast to pair with Ram Wrangler, then it's definitely not going to be a 3/3 bear with taunt. I mean, that's not going to stick around. They will kill it before you can play a Ram Wrangler. So I think while it's a strong combo, I don't think you'll see it very often. I think most people who would play Bear Trap are going to end up playing Snake Trap instead for the same exact reason. So next card, Tuskar Jouster. One card I was pretty high on. 5-mana, 5/5. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, restore 7 health to your hero. I think this has a reason to be in the top 10. I think this is actually a top 10 card. Yeah, I actually do think this is a top 10 card. I think the 5-mana 5/5 is really good as far as cost goes. It's not over, like it's technically not on par with what the value cost should be, because technically it should be like a 5/6 or a 6/5 for 5 mana. But the battle cry is just so good. A joust for 7 health, and that is absolutely insane. So, trades with all the 5-mana drops, trades with all the 6-mana drops, all the legendaries. It gets rid of like anything you'd want to get rid of. Yeah, it's a really strong card. This is a very nice card, very well designed, fits into Paladin perfectly. This is the type of card the Paladin was looking for, especially to stall out the games. I'd say this is in the top 10. I'm not quite sure where it fits in the top 10. We might do a top 10 here. Might do my own top 10 at the very end of this. So, number 8, Gormok the Impaler. If you have at least 4 other minions, deal 4 damage. 4-mana, 4/4. So, my biggest problem with this guy, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later on, but he's 4 mana, and you have to have 4 minions on the board. If you play him, so he's kind of like a Goblin Blast Mage, except for like 1 mana less, and it's harder to make that 4 damage happen, because 4 minions is a lot of minions. So the problem with him is you can't really play him early on turn 3 with a coin, because you're not going to have 4 minions. You'll never have 4 minions. You can't play him on turn 5 because he's too slow. He dies to everything because he has 4 health instead of 5 health. So you're not getting a lot of value out of his body, him being a 4/4. And you can't really play him, so you have to play him on curve, and I still don't think 99% of the decks out there, even zoo and aggro decks that should have lots of minions, unless you're playing like a Paladin and Inspired deck, not Inspired deck, but a Paladin, what's it called deck? The Buster for Battle deck, or if maybe a zoo deck, and you kind of get lucky on some spiders, and you just end up on your turn 4 with 4 minions on the board somehow, or maybe you have a spider, and maybe you have 2 spiders on the board. You can crash them and kill both of them, so you get little spiderlings, the undead spiderlings. So you end up, instead of 2 spiders, you have 4 spiderlings, and you can play Gormok the Impaler. I mean, then you're still only doing 4 damage, and I would take a Piloted Shredder over this, personally. I'd take the piloted shredder, the 4/3 piloted shredder, personally, because at least as the death rattle. So instead of the 4 damage right off the bat. It doesn't kill Sledge Belcher, as he kind of points out. It doesn't pass the 5 attack test, which, you know, like, what's the point of being 8 on the list if you're not passing that test? And yeah, it doesn't pass the 5 health test either. So everything in the 4, and even some 3 drops now, even a 2 drop can kill this thing. So I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan. I don't think it deserves to be in the top 10. Let's see, number 7, Tuskar Totemic. Very good card. 3 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, summon any random totem. There's a lot of totems out there. There's only one really bad totem, and that's Flame Tongue Totem. All the other totems are actually pretty decent, and you would not be. It wouldn't be bad to have any of them, quite honestly. There's some better than others, obviously. Like man, if you could get the Totem Golem out of this, like if you ever get the Totem Golem, that'd be really strong. I mean, it's like 1 in 7 or 1 in 6 chance of that happening. I think it's 1 in 7. So that's, I mean, really high chances of that happening. So in all of the other totems, I think he goes through them. I mean, what we got? Searing Totem, which would be terrible. But Healing Totem's not bad. Wrath is pretty good depending on where you are in the game. Vitality Totem's amazing. Oops, let's do that. There we go. Well, you can't even really see it. Yeah, Vitality Totem's amazing. You get the 4 health at the end of your turn. Totem Golem's absolutely amazing. It's bonkers, really. Especially if you don't have to pay that overload. Flame Tongue is bonkers. And Manatide Totem is bonkers. So there's a lot of really good totems that you could possibly get minus the Searing Totem. And yeah, Totem Golem, Tuskar Totemic, I think it's a great 3-drop. It's something that, you know, Shaman needed a 3-drop other than Wolves, and I think this is it. I think this is a good second 3-drop so that they don't have to play a Spider Tank. You're not just stuck playing Mech Shaman or Wolves or whatnot on turn 3. You actually have a good synergistic 3-drop that gives you more control and a little bit more presence, especially with your totems. So yeah, I like this card a lot. Let's see, number 6. Oh yeah, it does deserve to be in the top 10. Number 6, Ronin. Ronin. So he compares it to Tyrion Fording. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's not a bad comparison, actually. I think it's actually that strong. I mean, I reviewed it earlier, and the more I've thought about this card, the more I really like it. I mean, there's a lot of synergy inside of Mage. It's a 7/7 body. I mean, so what if they actually use... You're kind of like, some people have said it'd be really nice if this was like a 6/7. I disagree, actually. You're actually baiting the player into using his Big Game Hunter on Ronin at this point, because the 3 arcane missiles are so powerful at that point. And if you can bait him into that, then yeah, you're basically kind of golden as far as being able to use other large minions. And yeah, it's really, that death route is really strong, really strong. I disagree. I don't think Flamewalker is really kind of where it fits, but man, it goes really well with Malagos and Archmage and any sort of spell power. I mean, 9 damage is a whole bunch of damage to be doing the next turn, so you can have some really nice setup, especially like with Emperor Thracian and stuff. So yeah, arcane missiles, a lot stronger than people kind of give it credit for, especially if you kind of buff it up and kind of get it for free even. So this definitely deserves to be in the top 10. Darnassus Aspirant. Yes, one of the very first cards I reviewed. Massively high in this card. Yeah, so this is kind of like a Mech Warper. And yeah, it's very much like a Mech Warper. It's in that same vein, but for druids, and the battle cry is just ridiculous. I can't get over how amazing this card is. Because again, in almost every aspect, it's better than a really good card already in Wild Growth. I mean, every single druid plays Wild Growth at the moment, whether it be token, whether it be combo, whether it be mid-range. I mean, mid-range combo, the same thing, or ramp. They all play Wild Growth at the moment. Aggro doesn't, obviously, but and this card is better in every single way because you get board control, and there's really not a massive drawback because, you know, if you're really worried about losing that mana crystal for some reason, then you could just silence it. Druids have lots of silence, and you don't really, I mean, you have enough removal that if they have a taunt, you're going to kill them anyway because you're ahead as far as mana crystals go. If you can get 2 of these guys out, all the better, because now you have 2/2/3s, which is way better than a 3/2 in this particular case. And you can silence one of them, and, you know, I mean, even that silence chick that silences all of your minions, that's really not a bad idea nowadays in Druid sometimes. So anyway, yeah, this is a very strong card. Again, much like Mech Warper, and Mech Warper was kind of bonkers as far as power creep goes. And yeah, really good card. Definitely in the top 10. Totem Golem. We just talked about this a couple seconds ago. Top 10 material by far, yes. Way over the top. Pain 1 overload is not like Pain. You know, doing 2 mana, 1 overload is not the same as doing 3 mana. Not anywhere close. I mean, you can play this on turn 2, and then play this again on turn 3. So, yeah, so then all of a sudden you end up with 3/4, 3/4. That's gonna happen to me. I know it's gonna happen to me like the first week, and I'm gonna cry. And it's gonna be very sad, and I'm gonna be like, oh man, I need to play Shaman, because Shaman's pretty awesome now. And that's just awesome art. The art itself deserves to be in the top 10. Maybe we should do an art top 10. That'd be kind of fun, actually. An art and an animated top 10. We might do that a little bit later. But yes, top 10 card, really good. The fact it's common. So I mean, that's just hilarious. I mean, it's common. It's going to be super easy to get in Arena. And yeah, this is going to kick Shaman up over the top in Arena. This is what Shaman has been looking for. So, top 10 mix for sure. So at number 3, Mulch. Yet another really good Druid card. I talked about this at length in the Druid preview. Really no drawback. You're going to be using this on a massive minion. His examples: Ysera, Malagos, Firelord, Thracian, anything really. There's so many cards out there that if you use this on like a 7 mana or more, there's a very high chance that you're going to give them something crap. And even if it is in the high ranks, then it's not going to have any synergy with their deck. So, I mean, imagine like a I don't know. I mean, there's so many bad cards you could possibly get in this given to them, and it'd be a lot worse if it actually got put into play. Like, you know, if this card was like Mulch, destroy a minion and replace it with a random minion type thing, then yeah, it'd be a lot worse. But the fact that it goes into your opponent's hand and they have to play it so it costs mana crystals, yeah, that's pretty bonkers. Overall, it's pretty bonkers. I like it a lot. Top 3, this will be used in every single Druid deck. King Varian. So 10 mana, 7/7. Battle Cry, draw 3 cards. Put any minions you drew directly into the battlefield. So this is an amazing control card, no doubt. I mean, you can draw 3 legendaries and drop them all onto the field. All of a sudden you have 4 legendaries, and yeah, that's the game right there, obviously. You could also draw 3, you know, combos, and basically draw into a turn 10 wombo combo with Patron Warrior. That's pretty strong too. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely up there. I'm trying to think of like a reason why you wouldn't want 3 cards. And even if you just drew like 3 spell cards, who really cares? Because you drew you 3 cards and there's a 7/7 on the board. 7/7 for 10 is pretty bad, but it's not that bad. And you gain 3 cards out of it, which, I mean, shoot, what? Rogue is 7 mana to sprint for 4 cards, I think? Is that what it is? Yeah, I think that's right. So you're gaining 3 cards, and they go on the board, and you're getting a 7/7 for 3 extra mana. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Not gonna lie. This is this is a card that Rogue should have. Quite honestly, they should replace Sprint and just give him this instead. This should have been Vankeef. And then finally, just a card, True Heart. I'm not terribly high on this card. I don't know why. I think it's the low health. It really doesn't matter because you're just playing this for the battle cry, and it kind of depends on how powerful your hero power is. So if we think back to the hero powers, Joe had actually a really good example of, he went through all the different hero powers and was like, nope, 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 not strong, not strong, not strong. Yes, that's strong, not strong. And, let's see. Let's see if we can find that real fast. I cannot remember what all of the cards do. Let's see. There it is. That needs to be blown up a little bit. Oh, yeah, yuck. Let's go back out of this one. I think this is where we want to go. So let's see. So we've got. So kind of going through it just real quickly. Heal, restore 4 health. That's pretty strong in a top deck situation. Not otherwise, really. It's not. I mean, you're not going to be healing your minions. You're going to be healing yourself. So if you don't need to heal yourself, it's not massively powerful. So I still say variant's stronger than that. Power creep wise. Daggers. Ooh, man, that's bad. 2/2 weapon. Now that's terrible. Remember, this is turn 6 also, and you're going to be playing 2 mana on top of this, like the next turn or on turn 8. So yeah, 2/2 is screw that. Totemic Slam, summon 2 totems. I guess that's okay. They have 2 more totems. They have an extra totem they have to deal with just in case your heroism. Whatever. Soul Tap reduces the cost so you're not losing the health. That's pretty nice. That's actually really nice for Warlock. I think Jodo didn't really like it just because like what extra you gain, but because you don't really care about health towards the end game. And there's a lot of cards that actually are based off of health. So like Molten Giants. Sometimes you can actually, it's advantageous to tap down to a free Molten Giant or to a Molten Giant that you can actually afford. So you lose that ability. I don't think that's a massive loss. All of a sudden, you can basically just tap every single turn, and you have no drawback. So I think that greatly outweighs the ability to pull out Moltens, I guess. So tank up for armor. No, don't like this one at all. This is the hero power for warrior isn't very strong. And yeah, you can get up to insane amounts of armor, but it's definitely not number 1 card in the deck strong. 2 Silverhand Recruits, that's very strong. Obviously, 2/1/1s is pretty silly for 2 mana. Fire Blast, deal 2 damage. Turn 6, who really cares? Honestly, like, it sounds really cool because you can ping things and you're taking things out, but honestly, if you're not going to kill it with 1 mana extra, you're not going to kill it for 2 damage extra. So after turn 6, so I don't see it. The 3, if this was 4, like if this had doubled like everyone else's, then I'd be really high on this. As it is, you're still taking out 10% of a person's health every turn, so that's strong. I mean, it's not bad for sure, but massive amount of pressure that you're applying, but it's not strong, you know? So, whatever. And then the Dire Shapeshift, gain 2 armor, gain 2 attack. That's actually very strong. I like this one quite a bit. Which is weird, because it's a combination of Tank Up and Fire Blast in a weird sort of way. Or really Tank Up and Poison Daggers. But the fact that you can actually remove things and also armor up, I think that's... the combination of the two is actually powerful. Having one or the other is not very powerful. It's just in my opinion. So yeah, overall, mixed results on some of these, and sometimes really bad results, as in like with a rogue. So hey, we don't have to go over just a card True Heart anymore. But point being, not massively high on this card. I don't think it deserves number 1. So if I had to pick, well, we'll do a top 10 a little bit later, so it'd be close to this list. It's not too far off. Again, like the biggest one I don't agree with is Gormok, the Impaler. Definitely don't agree with that one, and that Bear Trap. But overall, the list is actually pretty good. So anyway, this is on Hearthstone Players. Definitely check it out. It's a very good list. He actually goes over a lot of interesting points. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch y'all later. Have fun.